What's up, guys? Pypo here. You will be here today. Me leveling again, but on a different character. I forgot that like 90% of the characters that I had actually exist. I completely forgot about Shovel, and was looking around on my different realms and stuff. Looking on the realm list and just seeing like the little numbers next to the realms, and I'm thinking, how many realms have I fucking played on? Jesus Christ! I had 1,000 characters spread across 1,000 realms. And eventually got to Mr. Cord, and I was like, oh, Shovel. And it's the same realm Jorf is on. I don't know how I forgot about Shovel. And I was like, I haven't healed in a long time. I haven't healed. He's sitting at level 90. I can just do WAD with him. So why don't I do WAD and see how that goes? And so that's what I'm doing. I'm mainly leveling just from like picking up shit. You know how the picking up random stuff gives you experience. The little items or like... It's like 9% fucking garrison resources, but sometimes you get like little rare items that I just have to keep deleting because I already have them. It's kind of a weird design. I can't even sell that shit. It pisses me off. I like have this rare item that I have to delete. Like a vendor wouldn't want that. Like a vendor wouldn't sell that for much. I don't know, man. I mean, fair enough. You don't want people to accidentally delete shit that they're going to use or be like, oh fuck, I deleted it, and then I can't get it back. That's contact Blizzard or whatever. But if I already have one and you're not even letting me like learn it, then it should just be defaulted to being able to sell it. I mean, I just fucking... Especially when I'm on a new server with hardly any gold on this one, I want to sell as much shit as possible. Although I've made a decent amount. I made 4,400 gold from just picking up shit. So that's pretty fucking good. I literally had 0 gold, and I've just gone from level 90 to 94 and just getting gold for no fucking reason. But there's 2 things I want to talk about in this video. The first is how easy healing is. This dungeon actually seems to be one of the harder healing experiences I've had, simply because I'm having to use other stuff that's not just Soothing Mist. I literally usually would do this. I'd cast Soothing Mist, fucking fear, seriously. I'd cast Soothing Mist, and then I'd just stand still, and that's literally all I would do. Then I'd roll to the next mob, Soothing Mist, and half the time I'd be tabbing out and just looking at other fucking other shit, because like this is all I do. I'd be like, and the channel's so long that I can just kind of like fucking relax, press 1 again. You know what I mean? Like that's my healing experience so far. On top of that, it doesn't use much mana, and I have a shitload of like mana tea. Always, like I always have above 10. It's impossible to lose stacks because you have Chi Brew, which is on a 3-minute cooldown. So you literally, it's impossible to lose your stacks unless you goof up and forget to like use them. And other than that, it's like, well, I'm just going to be on 100% mana using 1 spell for the entire time. I'm going to heal that guy real quick and then jump in this. Bring him past so I can shoot them. There we go. That's a cool little trick. I actually didn't even know about that until I started doing this stuff. Completely forgot that those things would just kill whatever. So the first thing I want to talk about was like healing just being shitty, and I really miss old WoW CC. Don't want to get too much into it. I posted some shit on Facebook and Twitter because I genuinely was like a little bit sad about it when I was playing my monk that that fucking bugged. When I was playing my monk and like, just there's nothing happening. Like there's no DPS, don't do anything but DPS, which is super sad. Like I really miss the days of playing my Frost Mage and being the designated CC or AoE, or I also would freeze stuff and lock it down and all that kind of stuff. And it would be part of my job as a DPS to do that stuff. Then you have paladins for their buffs and off heals and off tanking and all that kind of shit. And just, I mean, I could speak about this for fucking hours. I'm not gonna go into it. The other thing I wanted to talk about was I bought a car recently. I went and bought a car. Private dealer, but it kind of just got me thinking, like, how can nothing in my life be simple? Like, it pisses me off sometimes, but anyway, so my price range that I wanted to spend, I only wanted to spend like $4 grand. Like, that's how much I wanted to spend. I didn't want to spend more than that. Fucking just wanted to GG, get a nice kind of little car, and you know, go about my business, because I want to actually teach Suki to drive as well, which means I need something that's automatic, because she can only drive an automatic, and on top of that, it needs to be something small. So I was thinking, well, what's a small automatic car that I can get? Also, I don't mind because it's cheap on fuel and shit like that. So I started looking around. I find like what are they called? Lancers. I forget what fucking make they are, but the small like $2 Lancer car, and a lot of them are like $4 grand. So I've just kind of been waiting around to get one that looks good. And then Suki sends me, literally, I think it was like 4 days ago, sends me something on Gumtree, which is like, I don't know if Americans have Gumtree. It might be an Australian thing. Gumtree is just like a post whatever the fuck you want to sell, and someone's posted a car on there, and the car is a Suzuki Swift, and it looks fucking perfect, mint condition. It's a little bit dusty, and it has one scratch on the back of it. When I say scratch, it's a hole in the body. I don't know how the fuck you do that, but it looked like it was immaculate condition, but it had just been backed into a pole, and like in the body, it was like a hole like this big. And I was like, what the? I didn't understand that happened, but who cares? It's just a cosmetic thing. I really don't give a shit. And she's like, I really want this car, but the price tag they had on the car was $8,500, which is over double what I want to spend. So naturally, we fucking go and look at it anyway, because it's who he wants it. And while we're looking at it, I have to do the whole, you know, fucking act like I'm a mechanic or some shit and act like I know what I'm doing. And it's nighttime at this point, because we both work late. We go over there, it's like 6:30 at night. It's just dark enough to where you can't see shit, so I have this little fucking flashlight. And I know a little bit about cars. I know enough to check some things, but I didn't know everything. So I just Googled a bunch of shit before I went to be like, what the fuck should I be checking to make sure I'm not buying like a bomb or some shit. Like I'm 90% sure it's not a bomb already just by looking at the pictures, but I still want to make sure that it hasn't been like prettied up and then I'm gonna drive it and die or some shit. So I'm there, and it's these 3 Asian guys. No, 2 Asian girls, 1 Asian dude. And it's clear that the guy is there for like moral support. Like the girls are selling the car, but the dude's there to be like trying to not get them to get fucked over. And I forgot to mention, before we even went, the reason I agreed to go was because Suki messaged them and was like, hey, would you take just 7,000? I think she said 7,500. She might have said 7,000, but would like just basically lowballed them immediately and dropped $1,000 off the price. And they were like, yeah, we need it gone like immediately. So I was like, alright, we might be even able to talk them down more. Went, looked at the car. I fucking just... I don't know if you guys have ever done this where you just act confident even though you have no idea what you're fucking doing. I seem to do that a lot. Like, I've seen a post on Facebook before where it's like that image of I'm just gonna wing it, and it's a person saying that as something I definitely should not be winging, and that seems to be me a lot. I'm just winging the fuck out of shit. So I'm looking at this car, I'm checking the oil, I'm checking the fucking coolant and shit, I'm trying to see if the wheels are straight and stuff, like if it needs a wheel alignment. I'm trying to think of all this shit that I don't actually know what half of it means. I've just seen it on a Google page, and I'm trying to make sure that it's not fucking horrible. And after doing all this, I'm like, alright, let's go for a test drive. So it's a 4-door, and I get in the front seat, obviously, to drive. The Asian lady who owns the car gets in the passenger seat, and my girlfriend's sister, and the Asian guy get in the seat behind me. The seats behind me, the back seats. And so they're all in the car, and they're talking about the car and shit and asking questions while I'm driving. Now, this is the first time I've driven a car in about maybe 6 months. I've driven, like, relatively recently, like 2 weeks ago, but it was in my mother's car when she came to visit me. And it was from my house to the shops, which is like maybe, I'm not joking, maybe 100 meters. That's how far I drove. Like, we literally had a conversation in the car that it probably would have been better just to walk, because it took us longer to get to the car, start it, drive out of the garage, go to the shops, get out of the car, and then come all the way back. That probably took longer than it would have just to walk there and not have to faff around with the car. Like, it literally is that close. So I didn't really count that, not to mention like it wasn't at night in an area I didn't know. So we get in this car, we're driving down the street, and again I'm still thinking in my head, trying to act confident, trying to think like, the fuck do I need to check while driving this thing? So I'm listening for fucking noises and shit. I'm like, is there any noise coming from this? Do I hear bolts falling off the car or some shit? I don't even know what I'm listening for. I'm just hoping there's no like backfires or something. I don't know. And then I think I need to test the brakes. I remember, like, I fucking saw on the list, it's like, make sure you test the brakes. And then it's also like, make sure, the article I read, like, stop the car, put on the handbrake, and try and drive off slowly with the handbrake on to see if the handbrake holds the car. And shit like this is going through my mind. It's just all this shit I read, all this information that's probably fucking stuff I shouldn't be doing. I'm getting trolled by a website, but I'm still like, I need to do this shit. I need to make sure it's like I'm fucking getting a good car. I don't want to spend $7,000 on a car that's gonna be shit. So as I'm driving, and I remember this, I just slam on the brakes for some fucking reason. I, like, even in the moment, there was hardly any thought going into it. I kind of looked behind me, made sure there was one behind me, slammed on the brakes. And the Asian lady next to me let out like an audible squeal, like she spooked and may have wet my now car that I own. It may have Asian lady pee all over the car. I'm not sure. It's just, there was some definite freak action going on, and she shat herself. It was so... I felt bad. Like, even after she squealed, I just kept driving off, and then I realized, shit, that probably wasn't cool. These poor people are driving in a car that, well, still their car. They own it still. And I'm just braking, like, fucking furiously. Again, I sped up to do it, too. I was like, I better get some speed going before I brake to see if the brakes even work. And they worked perfectly. The car's brakes are actually super ridiculously good compared to what I'm used to driving. I'm used to driving, like, 1993 model Commodores and shit, where you can, like, put the brake halfway in, and it, like, starts to slow down. Whereas the fucking Suzuki Swift was, like, I put the brake in, like, an inch, not even an inch, and the car has stopped. Like, it's crazy. The fucking... I have to get used to it. I'm still not used to it. I drive in traffic, and I'm almost stopping in the middle of nowhere. Anyway, so I do that. I stop the car. I put on the handbrake, try to drive off. Everyone in the car, even, like, my girlfriend and my girlfriend's sister behind me, are like, what the fuck what's Pips doing? But I acted confident, and no one questioned it. They're like, this guy must know what he's doing. He must be a mechanic in his past life or some shit, because this guy's doing all the checks and shit. And finally, I'm like, alright, I'm done checking the car. Direct me back to where we were, because I have no idea where the fuck I am. She directs me back. We go back to, like, the little spot they were, which, by the way, is in the middle of, like, the worst place I could choose. Is, like, come inspect my car. They told us it's, like, in an apartment building, but it's actually down the back in an alleyway behind, like, a truck or some shit in this weird curb area where there's dirt and it's making the car dusty. Beside the point. We get back there, and we're like, okay. And I do the thing that I read that I should do, which is, like, offer them lower than what they already are. And so we had him down to, I think, either 7,500 or 700. I can't remember. I think it would have been 700 already. I can't remember how much Suzuki talked him down. And I'm like, okay, I'll buy it right now from you for 6,500. I'll buy it tonight from you, 6,500. And they're like, oh, we need to talk about it. They go away. They talk amongst themselves. And after they talk amongst themselves, like, okay, you can take it tonight, but that's the lowest we can go is 6,800. The ad was for like 8,500. We don't want to drop it anymore. I was like, cool, whatever. I'll fucking buy the car. I was super hyped for it, actually, after I'd driven it, because I haven't driven many cars that are super, like, new and good, and I gotta admit, I was a bit, like, starstruck by the car, and the idea of me being like, oh, I can fucking own this thing? I can own this beast of a car? It's fucking amazing. Anyway, so we agree to it, but the idea is that we have to pay for it that night. Otherwise, you know, it's not that the deal's off, but that's like, that was why they dropped the price more, so we'll buy it right now. I don't have fucking cash on me. I don't carry around $6,800 in my pocket. I didn't even know why I said, like, I can buy it right now. I just, for some reason, in my head was like, there's 3 people with me, my sister, good lord, my girlfriend and her sister, and we can work it out between us that we get this money out of the bank or some shit. So then we go to the bank, and we have to transfer... I have to transfer money over to my girlfriend and to my girlfriend's sister to make sure they have enough money in their bank. And it turns out that transfer of money takes like 5 days. So I've just given people like $4 grand, which means I don't have enough money to pay for the car. And I also can't even get money out of my bank account at an ATM. So I end up going back to the people and being like, hey, so I have like $2 grand that I was allowed to take out, and I have no more money right now. Because the bank just fucked us, and we have... Like, my money is now in other people's banks that I can't access. It was the biggest probably fuck up that me and Suki have ever done. Just goofing. I don't know why I was like that, but I managed to, like, secure the, there's a little slip that they have to give you to transfer the car into your name. So I did that. Where I was like, just give me the slip, and I won't give you any money, and you can come over tomorrow, and I'll have the money out for you. And I actually drove it to my place and, like, delivered it, which is pretty nice, because it was actually pretty far away from this. So then I got a car, Suzuki Swift, fucking hyped about it. Anyway, that's my retarded buying a car story, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I have a day over to you guys. See you next video, guys. See you later.